Hi, friend. I'm so glad that you've made it this week. Did you make it through? I did. And what a week it's been. This week, we're talking about saving our own creativity in this AI robot bot created world. I have 10. I usually don't introduce myself at the beginning. I usually sort of introduce myself at the end, but I am a practicing shamanic practitioner, studied with shamans for many, many years. I've taught since the 90s, men and women's groups, art, counseling, shamanic counseling, soul retrieval. And my lifelong question is what makes art sacred? And I'll tell you what doesn't make art sacred. Can you guess? An AI generated art image that is made by a machine. And while it may look slick and it may have special effects and it may look beautiful and it may look sexy, it is not made by human hands and is not made by a human heart and is not made by a human who has practiced their art, studied their art, studied and sweat blood over being an artist, whatever kind of artist. If we're talking about being a writer, if we're talking about podcasting, if we're talking about painting, if we're talking about weaving, if we're talking about drawing, if we're talking about dancing, if we're talking about singing, all these practices, all these examples of creativity will, in the long run, be, I'm just going to say how I feel about it, will be violated by big tech money who just wants to make money and rolls out new toys for boys and girls in America and all over the world. So that we actually lose our creative capacities and our imagination. And the imagination and our imagination is our superpower. Our human imagination is our superpower. And that is a truth, a real, viable truth that is found cross culturally over every single religion, every single tradition, every single human heart that knows anything about creativity is we cannot lose our human touch, our human senses, and our human imagination or our creative heart. How do we save our creativity in this world? We'll get to that in a minute because that's what this vlog is about. But what I want to talk about is the benefits of creativity is a buzzword, but that isn't actually what I want to talk about. What I want to talk about is love is creativity. Creativity is love. Acrylic sketch, which I call my folk art. I love pop art and folk art. And and she looks like the first doll that my father brought back from Germany that had, that's my first doll. And I love this doll. I'm so glad I still have her. Most artists, when they're young and growing up, have big dreams about what they're going to do. And I was going to be a fashion designer. And how was I going to do that growing up on the beach in Santa Barbara and Ojai, where we didn't have a lot of money to send me to the fashion design school in New York or Los Angeles. So how would that ever happen? But I had such a tremendous love for fashion and clothing and drape and how fabric moves on the body and the colors and the textures and the millions of artists who were weaving or dyeing or stitching and making velvets. I mean, it was fabric are like tubes of paint to a textile artist. And I thought I'd wear today a velvet scarf I've had for about 20 years. I just love it. When I was growing up in the 60s, and I was too young for the 60s, but I was growing up in the 60s. Who knew in the 60s that we would have an online world that would allow everyone to have their own business online, their own website, their own YouTube channel, where they could talk about their love, what they're interested in. And I've had a fashion store, Sunheart Boho Clothing, for over 20 years. And I was able through working that store a little bit at a time. I started that store with 35 extra dollars a week, and I built it into a wonderful, wonderful seven-figure business for many years. And was able to design my own clothing, design my own boutiques, send it to Bali, and have clothing lines for years. And what an accomplishment for someone who was going to bed at night in Ojai, who rode a horse, who didn't have a lot of money, and would have maybe $20 that if she saved, and they'd go to Betty's Fabrics or and, come back with all this fabric, and I would lay on fabric and cut it around me and create clothing. Creativity is something that is absolutely inherent in being human. And creativity, when people hear that, many people might think, well, I'm not creative. I'm not an artist. I can't do what she does. And then they look at this, and even if it is folk art, and which is folk art is naive art, it can also be called outsider art, but it's art from the heart, from the culture, whatever culture it is. And this little girl, who reminds me of my German doll, is a picture of something that I was striving for in this image. I wanted it to be messy. I sort of do like a jelly monoprint first, and then I look into the arising and dissolving of the paint, and then the picture starts talking to me in my mind, and then I paint it. And what you'll see here, if you look closely, she has a sort of this rose color, beautiful dress. It's rose and pink and white and almost going into a viridian. Kind of looks velvety, like it's maybe a brushed velvet. And there's in white, which is the white. Here are some of my white pins, and they're jelly pins and they're Sharpies. And you want to always have a whole bunch of them on hand and make sure they're working. Because when your image is completely dry, you can go in with white, which I did around her eyes and the reflection in her eye, but also this beautiful, I put peace signs or crosses all over her dress, and it felt like it needed something else. What else? What was her, you could say, gift to the world? What was um, the feeling tone of this image? What grace lives in the heart of this little girl? And this was a dove of peace. And you see, it's just an outline. It's very simple, just an outline of a dove. And I didn't draw it first. I just went in. I went in taking a risk using the white pen, and it came out beautifully. Every artist has their pin set, right? Right. So in the mystery wisdom traditions or in the magic traditions or in alchemy or in magical practices, Wicca, good white magic, you also always have a mage, M-A-G-E, a mage, who's an adept and able to cross into ordinary and non-ordinary reality. And we can think of the Druids, and we can think of Merlin was a mage and an adept. We can think of Gandalf. Gandalf was a mage and an adept. Now, mage, if you think about that word, I haven't memorized this, so I'm going to read it for you, okay? Mage. Old French mage, Latin magus, Greek magos, Old Persian magus, meaning a priest or goddess of ancient Persian Zoroastrianism tradition, a wise one, a reader of stars, an interpreter of dreams, a worker of sacred transformation. Remind you of anybody? The root mag, as in mage, the root mag, to be able to have power. This same root word gives us might, magic, machine, majesty, and magnet. Okay? So the mage is literally the one who is able to channel powers through knowledge and imagination. Image, I mage. I, Kristena West. I mage. I mage. Image. I imagine. Image. Origin from Latin imagio, meaning likeness, figure, representation, or reflection. Rooted in imitare, to imitate. A deeper etymologists link it also to mag, to outer form, to shape of form. Imagio originally referred to the mask of the dead, a portrait mask used in Roman funerals. Hence, image carries both creation and remembrance. Isn't that interesting? Image carries the qualities of both creation and remembrance. It is also the root of imagination. And remember, we're working on the word image, the root and etymology of image. It's also the root of imagination, meaning the faculty of forming images. And the hidden link, I mage, and the hidden link, I mage, image, when you write image, you're tapping into a living word magic. I, the self, the creative ego, the perceiver, the seer, the seer, the seer, mage, the one who shapes reality through vision. Image, mage, the perceiver, the seer, the seer. So image literally means the eye who imagines, the eye who shapes. So it's both a noun and a verb. Okay, isn't that great? So image literally means the eye who imagines, the eye who shapes. It's both a noun and a verb. The verb to I imagine is to create as an image does through inner vision. Adept. From Latin adeptus, one who has attained. To reach. The adept is one who has reached mastery, an initiate who knows how to wield the unseen. Isn't that beautiful? Now that's from adept. Adapt from adaptare, to make fit. To adapt is to reshape oneself, the living expression of imagination in motion. Now that's deep esotericism. Shall I repeat it for you? Adaptare is to make fit. To adapt is to shape oneself, one's I, Kristena, into the living expression of imagination in motion. So this phrase, adept, and being an adept of images, beautifully holds this meaning. One who has attained the ability to shape the world through inner vision, the living image of imagination. So this painting is actually for sale. I have it up on my Etsy shop and my Sunheart Boho clothing. And it's a one of a kind. You can get prints if you want, but I'd rather sell original art right now so you get the hands of the maker. So before AI, this last couple of years, the entire world, the first thing we had was cameras. That was the first foray into a world that was mechanical. And we had television and telescopes and sonar and submarines and telegraphs. And so the world rocks on. And now we have AI. And AI can be a wonderful tool and helper and prompter to get your creativity going if you have a block. But it's also a stealer and destroyer, because if you start relying on AI and you, with the click of a button and a couple of phrases, you can create some ghastly image with 10 fingers, which looks just like a demon. And that's actually where it comes from, the subterranean level where it's sub-nature. So AI is sub-nature. It's electrical. And there is a consequence of the use of natural power, meaning water that has to cool down, the use of AI machines, which is another drain on our planet. So we want to start using AI consciously. And I will say that I use AI as a personal assistant in my business. So, for instance, I needed to get a new computer. I had two computers that were basically on dial-up, and it was impossible to work anymore. And we spent 3 days, Chatty and I, which is what I call my AI, because in Findhorn, you always name your refrigerator or washer and dryer. So many people call their Chat GPT Chatty. And we spent 3 days trolling a refurbished, the best quality and the newest machine. And oh my God, the tech was so overwhelming for me. Although I've been on a computer, I worked on the first Apple computer when it was being made because my girlfriend at the time was building the core structure of the first Apple. But I'm not a techie, and I don't understand Thunderbolts and oh my God, all the tech stuff. It's like another world. So it took us 3 days because I asked a lot of questions and I found a fabulous machine and it was on eBay and they sell only Macs. And I've got a great machine for a great price. The great thing about AI, you can have, to me, it's like what a guy would do for me, a tech guy. They can also be wrong. And you can waste days thinking your chat GPT knows what it's talking about and it doesn't. So there's that as well, which is really good. It keeps us salted down that this isn't a miracle worker, nor is it magic. It's a program and it doesn't know everything, although it wants to please us and make us appear that it knows everything. So I want to get to these 10 creative in this new AI world. Because let me tell you, every content creator is pushing a launch to teach you how to use AI. And if you don't use AI, you're going to lose, you're going to kill your business. Bullshit. Just bullshit. That is bullshit. Okay, that's a threefer. You can run your business without AI. You can run your business without digital imaging. There's plenty of clip art and free art all over the internet you can use. And for my work, I use Canva. It's $12.95 a month. And I'm actually a graphic designer by training. Since I was 17, I started in graphics. So I love it, graphics, and I'm a little flamboyant and I love pushing the envelope in graphics. And I'm a fashion designer and a fashion illustrator. So I love the human figure and I love pushing the envelope a bit, just a little bit here and there. So I'm okay using Canva and AI. I want to save time for my own personal work, my own art, my own writing, the time that I need to think about things, to be quiet, to be receptive, to live into the world, the anima mundi, right? Remember, love is. Okay, so here's saving your own creativity in machine world. Maybe I'll make this a little ebook. I'll make this an ebook and you can get it on KristinaWestArt.com/saving creativity. Got to remember that. KristinaWestArt.com/saving creativity. And that's a free downloadable book, little ebook. So this is one of my paintings, which I wanted to show a real image on this vlog for saving your creativity in an AI machine world. So number one, the noise and the numb. The noise and the numb. So every day we wake up to noise, politics, fear, and the algorithms. It's all designed to hijack our attention. Where are we looking? Where are we looking? What are we seeing? And remember, I'll give you a shamanic tip. Anything that you reduce with your free will, you actually put change in the strength of your spiritual power. That's why priests and nuns and monks and religious people and shamans renounce something, give something up, even if it's for a short time, because they know they're building power. They're putting change in their piggy bank of power, the power piggy bank. So every day we wake up to noise, politics, fear, algorithms. It's designed to hijack our nervous systems. Okay? Our nervous systems. The first act of rebellion. What's the first act of rebellion? Don't let the noise decide your mood. We have to fight to keep our inner human fire alive. So that's tip one, the noise and the numb. Tip number two, the daily practice. Before you scroll, I hope as a dream worker, you wonderful artists out there, you don't wake up to an alarm clock, that you wake up to either the natural day, your natural rhythm, or you wake up to a melody, a soft melody, and you don't go open your phone. You don't do electronics. 10 minutes, just 10 minutes every morning. You don't scroll, don't turn on your computer. You sketch, you dance, you sing, you write, whatever moves your energy. You do yoga, you take a walk, you make morning coffee, you think about your day, or if you have a table set up so you have some sketching, you just doodle even what you'd like to do today, what your dreams were, and you just have time without the screen. Because remember, the screen saps your energy. We want to protect our muse and not destroy it with doom scrolling. Number three, protect your sacred time. Protect your sacred time. Set a boundary. Studio time is holy. Studio time is holy. Studio time is holy. Phones off, music on, candle lit, rituals anchor your soul. When the world is spinning off, when the world's spinning off like a top. So that's your boundary. Your studio is your holy time. Your art is your holy time. Your weaving's your holy time. Feed yourself human things. Feed yourself human things. Listen to human voices, laughter, live music, a friend's rant. AI can remix, but never feel. AI can remix, but never feel. Feed yourself on the emotional and natural world of the earth. Humans, nature, animals, critters, walks, leaves. Feed yourself on the real world, not algorithms. Now, 5 is very interesting. Don't overshare the mystery. Do not overshare. Keep something private. Keep much private. An unfinished painting, a dream, an image that is still growing. When you guard the mystery, you guard the magic. And this is the secret of shamans, to give up sharing everything. So do you want to know the ratio of what I share? So my entire oeuvre of spiritual work or paintings, say it's 100%, I'm sharing maybe 15%. There's a whole world you don't know about, and you're never going to know online because it's my business and it's my life, and it's not to be dissipated for don't overshare the mystery. We all love the little dopamine hits of hearts when we're building a channel. It's so loving. It's so wonderful. It does step over this boundary of the screen into, oh, there's a human over there. That is so lovely. Thank you so much for the compliment or the insight. or the sharing or the image or the picture. So you know what this is called? Great name. Variable reward scheduling, which is the same mechanism casinos use. So each like triggers anticipation of a micro reward, a craving for more, and repeat behavior. That's why you feel a rush and you check again in 5 minutes. Now, this is going to be the one thing that I think everybody all over the world is waking up to. You do know that the CEOs of Silicon Valley don't let their kids have a cell phone because they know it destroys the imagination. So this is a real thing. This isn't Christina West, doom and gloom. This is a real fiasco happening against the human being's creative acts, the creative impulse, the divine connection from us over the threshold into the spiritual world, and we bring our gifts to the earth. And what the bots want us to do is to cut off the spiritual world and say, hey, I can give you things that look like the spiritual world. I can give you things that give you a dopamine hit immediately. Use me and I'm free. But are you really free? What is it doing to the human being? What is it doing to our spiritual bodies? We forget about we have spiritual bodies that are being attacked, pressured, and eliminated through an entire range of new toys, electronic toys. So number 5 is very important. Don't overshare the mystery. And don't overshare the mystery. I'll give you a mystery wisdom tip, is actually from the mystery wisdom traditions that the more you know, the less you tell, which is why I share about 15% of my work. Now, I don't mean don't be vulnerable. I mean, you have precious cargo in here that is the treasure trove of your biography of your life. And that's for you, between you and your God or gods or goddesses. And when you dissipate your secrets that are treasures for your personal soul, you're you're scattering, casting pearls before swine. And that comes from the Gospel of St. Matthew 7:6. Give not that which is holy unto the dogs, neither cast ye your pearls before swine, lest they trample them under their feet and turn again and rend you. And we see that on social media. It's like the Colosseum in ancient Rome now. Number 6 is journal the storm. Every artist needs a place to dump the static. Journal your fears, anger, boredom, all of it. That's raw creative material, and it's not a waste. And in the artist way, they call that the morning pages. You could do that first thing in the morning. Just journal what's cooking inside. What's cooking inside? And number 7 is collaborate and don't compete. Find your tribe, share time, not likes. When artists collaborate, we create culture. Artists change the world. We are seers, doers. We are the will people. We're the people who are creators. We create out of ourselves into the world. We are like little gods and goddesses, creators. And we don't want a machine doing that for us. We want to give a human gift to the human world. Again, collaborate and don't compete. And number 8 is slow down. Speed is AI's tempo. Deep, resonant. The depths are human. So if we go slow, our soul speaks to us in that quiet voice. We all know that quiet, creative voice. And it's what I call the listening will. We have to erase all these images that we've eaten when we doom scroll. Clear our psychic field to be able to be empty, to question into the anima mundi, the world soul. That is the thing that only humans can do. Girlfriend, boyfriend, that's the only thing we can do. We are humans. We can query into the other side of the world, into the real world of spiritual reality, not AI world, which is a machine that has scraped all the goodness from artists and creatives all over the world and regurgitates it into these demonic little shapes. And they can be fabulous. But if you look at them, a lot of them are very seductive. People are very attracted to these big, big boobed, breasted women with twinkling lights. And I just think, are you kidding? Like, is that still your picture of what a real woman, magical woman looks like? How about me? That's a real woman who's magical. You agree, right? I know there's women out there nodding their heads, going, yeah, me too. Yeah, me too. Gratitude closes the day. End your day by thanking the creative spirit, the one color, the one sound, the one truth that found you. So thank the world. Thank the world soul. Thank you, God, for letting me be alive. Thank you for this day. Thank you for the challenges that I had to push against to find creative solutions to. Thank you for the colors. Thank you for this scarf. I just love this scarf. Thank you for lipstick. Thank you for my new black glasses because my orange glasses, I was reading on the bed and I rolled over and broke them. And the only color they had was black, which is my least favorite color in the entire world to wear on my face. But I'm so grateful because they're my computer glasses. Call to artists, call to other artists. If you are watching this, if you are watching this, if you are watching this, and you hiding over there in goodness, in resilience, in crafting, in felting, in fairy tale stories, in writing, in imagination, in dreaming, in longing and wishing and hoping. Every brushstroke, every word that we create in goodness and love that comes from our within has some healing potential for the world. AI has no healing potential for the world. Remember, AI is subhuman, it's below the earth. And we want to use tools of the earth. We want to use real paint colors. We want to use real paper, real brushes. We want to use real real lipstick, not the lipstick on Zoom that says, here, put this color on your lips. I want real lipstick on my real lips. For you, huh? Let's look good for the camera. 10 tips for keeping our creativity. Again, you can find this original piece of art on my Sunheart boho clothing. It's for sale there. It's on a piece of really good watercolor paper, and I will ship it to you in a mailing tube, which is very inexpensive, and it's yours, and you can hang it on the wall. And you also, if anybody's out there who does collage, I've got tons of collage sheets I'm starting to give out. So I'm just starting on the Etsy store, so I'm building it. I hope these 10 tips to reorient ourselves with AI. The thing is, reading about them isn't going to change your life. What's going to change your life? Doing them, we have to reclaim our attention because the AI and all the thrills and toys are all designed to take us out of ourselves and look at screens instead of each other and waking up in the other and having interest in the other people and working out of our own soul and overcoming our own artistic issues through our creative acts and deeds. So hang in there another week. I know it's a wild ride. We're getting through this every single day. And don't forget gratitude. Thank you so much, God. I got through another week. I can do it. I can do it with the help of the spiritual world. I can do it. I can do it with the help of the spiritual worlds. I can do it. I can do it with the help of the spiritual worlds. Yo. Oh, and hit the subscribe button. And thank you so much. I'm getting some emails. Yay! Finally, I'm so happy. I had a gal send me an email this week. It was so wonderful. She said, Kristena, I've just discovered your thought form videos. These are fabulous. I think everybody should be have this information. She's forwarding it to her friends, and I'm going, yay! That's how the work of my channel gets known, so you can use it for the benefit of your eye. I had a gal send me an email this week. It was so wonderful. She said, Christine, I've just discovered your thought form videos. These are fabulous. I think everybody should be have this information. She's forwarding it to her friends, and I'm going, yay! That's how the work of my channel gets known, so you can use it for the benefit of your eye. Let's get creative. Bye for now. Christina West signing off.